We're in no rush. We don't need to run a mile right off the rip. We're just gonna test it out. We're gonna see how it feels. But like, this is exciting. This happened so fast. I feel like it was just yesterday when you were coming in with your crutches. I know. She's 13 weeks in, she's way ahead of schedule. This past week was the first time that we did any sort of running or plyometrics with her. Typically when you're introducing that impact again, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of compensation, and there's just a lot of uncertainty around it, which she showed, and that's totally normal. But with her, what you see is as she goes through the reps, every rep builds more confidence and more confidence and more confidence. So by the time she's done with her third or fourth or fifth set at whatever we programmed for her, it looked great. You know, very little compensations. Next time what we'll do is we'll get her on the force plates and we'll do a full jumping force plate evaluation because she's ready for it. We've spent the last 2 to 3 weeks doing landing mechanics, force absorption, and plyometrics to prepare her for Wednesday, for what we did on Wednesday. And, you know, she did great. All right, good. Did all of our stretches. Okay, so first thing that we're gonna do, let's come over here. So I want just floating the heel down in our lunge position. I want you to push through the ball of your foot, really elevate that heel. Make sure your knee is well out in front over your toes and that your nose is out over your knee, okay? So we're gonna be in like this really aggressive accelerating position. Not so much at 90 degrees where we've been in the past, okay? We're gonna go 20 seconds aside. Ready, and go. High, yes, yeah. Okay, looks great. Good, and just so we can start to feel like an athlete again, let's get our hands where they need to be, here, right? Okay, 3, 2, 1, and time, good. It burns. Yep, go ahead. I got the clock. It's a running clock, so I got the time. Yep, great position. We'll extend it here. Yeah, good, nice. Good, keep pushing forward. Keep that heel up high. Excellent, excellent. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good, okay, good. We'll take a little break. We're gonna do one more on each side. This second time around, I'm gonna go around with that ball again, just give you some little nudges, and you just have to hold your balance, okay? And go. Yep, good. Nice. Yeah, good fix. You're almost there, 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. Nice job. And whenever you're ready, we're going to the other side. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Good. What are the chances you have your lacrosse stick in the car? Okay. Next time, bring it with you. All right, let's go outside. And we're gonna bring the 4-pound med ball. She doesn't need a whole lot of table work right now. The knee is not really swollen. You know, it's pretty symmetrical to the other side. She has a little bit of quad atrophy, which obviously you're not gonna address on the table. You address that with training. So really, I had her go through her mobility routine. I had her go legs only on the bike for 5 minutes just because I was running late with another patient. And then we immediately went outside. We went into our skip series. I had her do a couple of jogs, a couple back pedals, and even with the med ball, I brought the med ball out there so she could do some med ball throws, she could do some shuffles, and really just start to get comfortable with rhythm, coordination, and footwork. She did great with all that, So I know you've started to do some skipping with Miguel, right? So let's revisit the skipping first. So what I want to see is getting your arms and legs in that same position that we were just in inside. I want you to stay light on your feet, like on the balls of your feet, like you're just doing this. What I want you to be thinking about is your angles, okay? So 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, okay? So nice and light on your feet. And just some light skips down and back, okay? Yeah, good. Good. How's that feel? Good, no issues?
Nope.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna give you about 20, 30 seconds. We're gonna do it again. This time around, what I wanna do is I wanna hear your steps, okay? So what you're gonna be thinking about is just getting comfortable, getting confident, putting some force into the ground. Okay, so you hear how much louder my steps are? So same thing, same rhythm, same technique, just applying more force into the ground. Yep, perfect. Good, nice intentional arm swing. Yep. Good. Good, this is where we start to build confidence in that leg again. Nice. Good, okay. Take 20, 30 seconds. We're gonna do one more before we do your first run. What I want you to do is we're gonna just take your hands away for this one just because it requires a little bit more rhythm and coordination. We'll add the hands as we get more used to it, but for now what I want you to do is you're just gonna hold this ball out in front of you. All we're gonna do is 3 hops and then switch legs. Okay, so it's here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same idea, have that opposite leg out in front of you. And we're just keeping our angles the same, okay? Yes. Good, straight out in front of you, arms straight, that's it. Everything stays the same, whatever leg is out in front, that arm is now gonna be, the opposite arm is gonna be out in front with it, okay? So it's gonna be, whenever you're ready, no rush at all. Shouldn't feel like conditioning. I know this is like the most out of shape. Yeah, it'll come back quick. Yep. Yep. Switch. 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 Yes, there we go. Very nice, Lily, very nice. Sports nowadays is more competitive than it's ever been. So if you're a teenage athlete with any sort of aspirations to play varsity, high school, or college, if you're not training, you are behind. I can guarantee it. At this point in the world, you can't just be a talented player and not be a good athlete. You need both of those skill sets. You need to be able to play well, have high sport IQ, know the game, but you also need to be able to be strong, be fast, be agile, be able to, shake somebody off, be able to go into a 50-50 fight and come out on top with the ball. You can't just have one or the other these days. These days, athletes that are, dominating in high school, going on to play competitive college, they have both tools. If you're missing one of those, you're way behind. Ready? Okay, so how we're gonna do this is we're gonna start at just like a 50% speed, and we're not gonna do any cutting for today. What we are gonna do today is we're gonna lay down the foundation for a proper cut, but we're not gonna actually do the cut. You'll see that when we go back inside. But for now, I'm gonna just run towards you so you can see. What I want you to do now is as you're approaching the last gutter, it's just here, okay? So we just stop in an athletic position. Feet cannot be wider than hip width apart, okay? That is a big no-no because if our base of support is too wide, our knees have only one direction to go, and what is that? In, and we don't want that, okay? So your feet have to stay hip width apart and just get used to getting into this position again on the stop, okay? So you're gonna go right here, in line with the gutter, okay? Just go. Yeah, go. lower, and it's not here, it's step, step. Yes. Yep, pick it up a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Awesome. How's it feel?
Great.
Awesome. Okay. Let's work with this a little bit. So each time we go, we're gonna just pick up speed a little bit. We are not gonna get more than like 70% effort today, okay? All I want you to think about is staying light on your feet, getting that good rhythm with the arm action, and then just getting used to, again, step, step, here, okay? Whenever you're ready. Yes, good. Nice, good, okay. So we're gonna do two things with this ball. First thing, you're going to roll me the ball on one side, okay? So go ahead, roll me the ball. Yep, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna shuffle as you pick it up and just throw it back to me. Little back pedal back to the rocks. Again, now this side. So shuffle, throw it back pedal here as you wait, throw it again. So a little jog, shuffle, and there, okay? With her sport, which is lacrosse, there is a lot of rotation. There's a lot of footwork because it's a very rotational sport, and that requires coordination. So without proper footwork and then coordination, and then leading up the kinetic chain to her trunk and her shoulder movement, if you skip any of those steps, it's not gonna look fluid, it's gonna look very blocky, and that's what her first couple reps looked like. She essentially paused in space, squatted down, stood up, took her step, took her shuffle, and then threw. And I was like, we gotta make it all one fluid motion. Smooth. Now again, after a couple reps, she was able to do that, but it's a matter of trusting that knee, being able to squat down or almost lunge down while moving, while your momentum is going forward. And then as soon as you're picking that ball up, you're immediately going into your shuffle, you're creating that hip and shoulder separation, and then allowing that potential energy to all come together and complete the rotation, which is very similar to shooting in lacrosse, right? Or a long pass in lacrosse. You get that initial hip and shoulder separation. Obviously, it's just stick in hands and you finish. For you, this is going to be like picking up with the stick and then passing. And I want that to be like all one motion. So it's step, scoop, throw, all in one fluid motion. Yes. Yeah, good. I love that shuffle. Keep working those feet. Yep, move those feet. There you go, now you're getting it. Yes. Good, one more each side. Frick yeah. Whoosh. Nice. Good. Rest, take a little break. If you want to run inside, grab water real quick, but take your time. Yep, we're gonna do this a couple times. The learning curve comes down to really two things. Number one, it's probably more difficult from a mobility perspective, because you got to imagine that knee is going to translate over your toes pretty significantly as you're coming down to scoop up the ball. So that means that you need a lot of ankle mobility, which she has, right? We've been working with her for over 13 weeks because she did pre-op PT with us. So she's not showing any of those mobility restrictions, although someone who did have that similar surgery, they're going to have some restrictions and limitations in their movement. Fortunately, that's just not her case. But the second reason why that's more difficult for someone who is undergoing treatment versus a healthy athlete is simply the psychological factor. You know, she was more or less gassed when we were out there because she was like, I haven't done this in months. And I'm like, yeah, Yeah, and that's for good reason. You had major surgery, right? So a lot of this was recreating those motor learning patterns, getting her the opportunity to trust her body again. Because that is the biggest thing when we're overcoming injuries as athletes is we learn to compensate and work around those injuries because we simply don't trust it. And the fact that she was able to overcome that learning curve in just a couple of repetitions was massive, because that shows many things, but most importantly, it shows the trust that she has in us and the trust that she has in her own body as a result of the work that she's put in. I think that's the best first time running that I've ever seen after an ACL. It's pretty sweet. 13 weeks to date. 12 weeks is when you start plyos again and like your return to running again. All right, same thing. Now, when you throw it back to me, I'm gonna hold it out. You have to run up, tap, shuffle back, okay? Or back pedal back. So now we're just adding a little acceleration, maybe 5 yards to me, tap, back pedal back, okay? All right, I'm going to your left first. Yep. Yes. Two. Three. Four. Two more. You're good. Here we go. Throw it back. Throw it back. Last one. Hard, hard. Got touch, gotta come touch, back pedal. Good, nice. Everything feel okay? Yeah. Okay, last progression. If I throw it to your left, same thing, pick up, shuffle, throw, come tap. Now you're going to sideways shuffle facing left. If I throw it to your right, right, sideways shuffle facing right, okay? I'm gonna go to your right side first, okay? All right, here we go. Yeah. Nice. Good. Halfway there. You got it. Nice. Good throw. Yeah, I love that. Last one. Here we go. Nice. Very good. I know. For good reason. All right, let's go inside. You know, the beautiful thing about this is we're under no rush. There's no timeline. There's no sense of urgency. We have literally 6 months until that spring season starts. Really what I'm gonna focus on is technique with changing direction, with transitioning from an acceleration position to a top speed position, and then really just making sure that we are balanced on both sides. So that's where the force plate testing will come in. We'll really get a look and feel for what her asymmetry is right now. But when we're able to do that testing, we can now test every 4 to 6 weeks and really get some good feedback on how her rehab is going and how she's progressing. How we're gonna break this down first is we're going to go through basic progressions of what we call a sway stop. When we go to change directions, what I often see is as someone is running, if they want to pivot and go back in that same direction that they came, they pivot off of their back leg and then they have to push off of that back leg to come forward. That's a lot of loss of momentum, energy, and time going in the wrong direction. So what we're gonna focus on, and where a lot of these non-impact injuries happen, is on the cut, on the change of direction. So we're gonna focus on our footwork, we're gonna focus on our body lean and our alignment, and we're gonna focus on staying over this front leg so we're not losing energy and momentum going in the opposite direction, okay? So how we're gonna start is you're just gonna come stand right next to me here. The first thing that I want you to feel is what is proper alignment, okay? So what we really wanna see is alignment of our shin, our hip, and our shoulder all in one place here. And the more comfortable we can get in this position, side to side, the more effectively we'll be able to cut on that side, okay? So you're gonna face that way. Yeah, we did just some basic technique work with changing direction. So really just getting her into a good accelerated position with a very aggressive shin angle. So knee is way out over the toes, nose is way out over the knees, and that allows her to get her momentum forward and give her a good push off of that front leg. So next week we'll start to do some cutting and we'll start to introduce, essentially that change of direction under a little bit of speed and momentum. But that was really just technique work, making sure that her body angles are where they need to be and that she is getting tension through the right muscles for a good acceleration. You're just gonna get in that nice low athletic position. Yeah, good fix already. And then you're gonna just shift over to me. Yeah, and you're gonna push into me here, point where you have like no weight on that left foot. So this right here is alignment. Okay, shin, hip, and shoulder in one straight line. Yep. Yep, trust it. I love that, knee over toe. And now start pushing into me. Yep, good, push, push, push. Good, 3, 2, 1, and time. Feels weird. How so?
I don't know. I haven't done it in so long.
Yeah.
It's like not as strong.
So the knee feels okay, it's just like you being in that position is a little foreign.
Yeah.
Totally expected and normal. Okay, so now you know what that alignment feels like and what it means. So now what we're gonna start to do is we're gonna start to work into it dynamically. So we're gonna be down. As one foot steps out, you're gonna lean back to center. So here, 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 here. Okay? Yes, nice. Lean, lean, lean. Yeah, good. Very nice. Lean, lean, lean. Good. Yep. Good. Pause for a second. Go back to that right side. So here, your hip comes perfectly in line with your knee and your shin. If you come on this side, go ahead and shift onto the left side. That hip lags back and your knee points out. So I need this hip here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. 2 more on each side, okay? That's it, good. Yeah, love that. Better, yep. Good, 1 more, last one here. Nice, good job. Rest. Any pain with anything so far? Just pressure, good, good. Let's do that 1 more time. I just want 3 per side, and then we're gonna add the next layer, okay? Yep, good. And don't step that foot too far outside of your base of support. It's just here. Okay? You don't have to reach it out. That's actually going to defeat the purpose of the next piece that we go into. So keep those steps tight and think more about your center of mass moving over side to side. Okay? Yeah, better. Yep. Thanks, Ray. Good. Okay. We're gonna start in the middle of the cones. I'm gonna go to my right first, okay? So remember, as I'm going to my right, the intended change of direction is gonna be back to the left, right? So what leg do I wanna keep the majority of my weight on to go back left? Your left, exactly, yep. So what you're gonna do is be in this nice athletic position. We're gonna take little baby steps. Once you get to the cone, here, back. Now as I go left, intended change of direction is gonna be right, here. So you see how we're just adding a little bit to what we just did with just those little side steps? Can we do 3 each direction? Okay. Yeah, good. Smaller step, just outside your base of support and get immediately into that other side. Yeah, good. Simultaneously into that other side. So as that right foot steps out, we're automatically getting left. Yeah, good. Even quicker. Yeah, that's the one. You feel the difference? Immediately getting back into that position. Yeah, good. Last one here. Yep, good. done, rest. We're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna add one more layer on top of it, and then that's it for the running part for today, okay? Not too bad, right? I think she's stronger now than she was before she got injured. And I think her potential to be faster and more agile is bigger because of that. I didn't see her before she got injured, so I don't really know what her previous baseline was. But I would almost guarantee that she's probably the same, if not a better athlete now than she was before she got hurt. So you rest. I'm gonna just show you what the last piece is, and then we'll break it down, okay? So now, as I'm going to the right, and eventually the progression is gonna be we run and then we change, right? But not quite there yet. So as I go to my right, if I want to eventually go back left, where do my hips and shoulders need to be square to? You wanna face the direction that you wanna go, right? So if I'm doing this and the intention is to go back left, right now, I'm not squared up to go left, right? I'm squared to go straight. So the last piece to this is simply just taking this and opening it like that. So this step doesn't have to cover ground. It just has to get you pointing in the intended direction. You already did the hard part. So break it down, right? You take your time. Once you get here, pause, and then it's just a matter of pivoting and turning your shoulders, turning your hips. Yeah, good. Yep. Good. Okay. What was the first drill that we did today? After your stretches and after the bike? The lunge, right? So knees are over toes, and nose was over knees, right? So this position right here kind of looks like that guy, right? Knee over toes, nose over knees. The reason why that's important is because that's how we accelerate, okay? So if you're here, and then this is your pivot, look at my shin. Look at my knee compared to my toes. This is not a good accelerating position, right? So when we're here, I need you to, because next week, we're gonna start to accelerate out of that position. So let's start getting in the habit of getting down into that aggressive lean right away. Stay over that right side on that step. Stay over the right side. Yes, there we go. Just think, you just have to turn and pivot that front leg. Everything else will follow. Just focus on the front. Yep. Better. It's all right, we just gotta get the balance down. Yep, good. Good, okay. Do this side one more time and you're gonna pause in that lunge, okay? Yep, good, okay. So right here, you can use me if you need to. I want you to notice the difference and the length and distance between your feet, okay? So from here, if we were to accelerate towards the window, what leg do you have to drive off of? Where's all your weight right now? You gotta drive off of this one, right? Yeah. So that means that this foot has to get all the way forward for that first step. So you tell me, what's gonna be faster? The leg coming from way back here for that first step, or coming from maybe here on that first step? What's gonna be faster? Coming from here, right? Yeah. So that's why initially, good job, when I was saying, don't let that foot get too far outside of your base of support. Why? So that that first step is that much quicker. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Do you wanna try that one more time before we move on? Yeah. Let's do it. Last thing, as you go to pivot, you're jumping your whole body. The only thing that moves, watch this foot, how it stays in the ground. The only thing that moves is this leg. That's it, okay? Your hips and your shoulders will follow your foot. Yeah, better, much better, good. There you go, that's it. Get comfortable stomping that foot into the ground. On the pivot, yep, just outside, good. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Last one. Let's finish it strong here. Love it. Awesome. Great job. Take a minute, grab a drink. How do your legs feel right now? Like jello a little bit? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna pivot a little bit from what I initially had, but that's okay. She was pretty smoked after all that, and rightfully so. That's hard work. So we had her do a single leg squat to a bench. So she had no problem controlling the descent down. The problem came from that initial force production from a dead stop back up. So we're just gonna try a single leg squat, okay? So you're gonna be slightly in front of the bench. Opposite leg is going to be directly out in front of you. Control, full sit, back up.
I'll probably come out. I mean, we're not too far away.
Okay, up to you. You know, this is all about tolerance, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. Can we stand up from it too? Even if you have to use me for a little bit of help. What I did was I just stretched out my hand. I said, use me if you need to. And she started with, you know, full hand in mine. And then next one was like 2 fingertips. Next time was barely 1 fingertip. And then by the end of it, she didn't need me at all. So again, that shows that she has the strength, but it shows that she lacked the confidence in that moment. And all she needed from me was a hand. And then rep after rep, it felt easier and easier. I'm sure for her, she was like trying to learn to trust it again. By the 3rd time around, you know, she had it. Yeah. I want that left leg to do as much as possible. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Skip forward, drive off of it. That's all right. Use me. It's okay. Boom. Yeah. It's not. You have the strength. It's just getting used to it again.
Yeah.
Yep. So just those fingertips didn't make the difference. Yep.
The length of the turf up
Good.
on the toes. When you make it down to the far side, feel free
Boom.
to
There you go. You got it.
But I want you to go down and back as one.
Good.
I want 3 total. Okay?
Frick yeah. Nice. Good. We'll come in. We're gonna do 1 foot at a time. So we're gonna bring this all the way back so we have full range of motion. We're gonna drop this all the way down so it's hugging tight onto your quad, and then sitting up nice and tall, 1 side at a time, all the way up. We've done this one before. Squeeze that quad, hold it at the top, and then nice, slow and controlled coming back down. Let's try 8 per side, and then I'll adjust this. Yep, so have both underneath. We're gonna drop this right on top. Good. Oh, let's go left side first, please, just to make sure that weight is good. Yeah, excellent. That's okay. So
Like I know this is working.
Yes.
I can see it. I can feel it. But I'm still up here.
So, you know, remember, they took the graft. So,
Oh!
you know, the graft is this tendon right here.
Wait, I forgot to.
You know, the first doctor that you went to, they wanted to take the graft from your hamstring.
Yeah.
But for athletes, that usually results in some type of hamstring injury later on. So that's not really the gold standard of that operation anymore. Now the gold standard is taking a piece of this tendon.
Okay.
And they find that this tendon is way more durable than the hamstring tendon, and that's why they use that for the graft. So this right here, that tendon, that's the lever that connects, you know, the motion of your foot all the way up your quad to that hip. So, you know, it's this tendon that's responsible for essentially that energy transfer from foot up to the quad. So we just have to build that strength and that durability back up.
Okay.
So it's totally natural that you're feeling that way. And oftentimes, especially in this phase of your rehab, it is very common to get a little bit of tendon pain as we introduce that impact with the running again.
Okay.
So don't let it scare you. It's
Okay.
very, very common.
Okay.
But obviously, we're going to avoid the pain as much as we can. Sometimes it is something that we have to push through.
Okay.
Okay? But if it's just pressure right now, then that's totally okay. I mean, she said multiple times, I'm nervous, but I'm excited. That is the best thing that we do. Bringing athletes back to their sport, back to their comfortable environment. And we bring them back when they're in a place that they were better than when they were when they got injured. Right. And that is the main difference that Lily is experiencing. And she's so fortunate because we didn't have to transition from a traditional practice to here. We got to work with her from day zero. So she's way ahead of the curve. She has great strength, great foundation, great movement patterns and efficiency. So now it's really just a matter of having fun. We get to have fun now. We get to do athletic movements. We get to start doing some cutting. We get to start working on some sprint work, some, mechanics. And the great thing is we have the entire off season to work with because her sport doesn't start until the spring. She's gonna be a monster by the time spring rolls around.
I would be shocked if it wasn't her best year.
Hands down,
Right.
hands down. We'll go 3 sets, 8 per side, and then we'll do some abs, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we'll grab, yep, pull, yep, good. So push that low back down into the ground, abs nice and tight, lift those legs up, good. So we start here, lift those shoulder blades up, head up, there we go. Good, so now we open, legs go down, arms come back, and then, yeah, there we go, good. Is that okay? Just hard? Okay. Can we do 8? Can we do 10? Okay, 8. I know it's a lot to think about. Try to squeeze those quads, keep those legs straight. Nice, Lily. Got it. Nice. How'd it feel? Abs? Good. I think she walked out on cloud 9 because as an athlete, when you're able to do that stuff again, like especially pain-free, that is such a good feeling. From not being able to do that for months, and then first time around, it's pain-free. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Have you had enough?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Nice
Thank you
job.
so much.
My pleasure. Back to Monday, Wednesday next week?
Yep.
Okay. I'll email Dr. Rios, I'll ask him about golf, and I'll let you know as soon as I hear back.
Okay.
Cool? All right.
Thank you so much.
You got it. I'll see you next week.
Yep.